Good morning. Hello. So if you come to this experience on any sort of regular basis, you know that I love it when you type in the chat that you're here because then I can picture you when I'm when I'm instructing, and it's easier because I know you a little bit. And actually, I've been, I want to share with you this passage, which really moves me. I know that this is Valentine's weekend, and almost every yoga teacher in the world talks about some element of love. And this is not related to that. This is by Pema Chodron, the Tibetan nun who has offered us so much in regard to working with that which is difficult. She says, so what I'm saying is fail, then fail again, and then maybe you start to work with some of the things I'm saying. And when it happens again, when things don't work out, you fail better. In other words, you're able to work with the feeling of failure instead of shoving it under the rug or blaming someone else or coming up with a negative self-image. And I was reading this in passing last night, and I thought to myself, what a beautiful quote worth passing on, because we all have, over the last year, probably in our whole lives, but especially if we're engaged with our lives and we're using our life as a practice, we come up against our own vulnerability and areas that we sure wish we were better at. And I was thinking about this experience, the Saturday morning experience, that truth be told, I've come to learn, I learned this pretty quickly last spring, that what I prefer is speaking with people, and that when I see the camera right in front of me, like it is right now, I'm very aware. I'm self-conscious. I'm self-conscious, and I was given a choice. I gave myself a choice that I either could learn how to get to the point where I felt so comfortable in front of the camera and sharing in this way, or I could retreat and not address that. And you might understand this a little bit. When I put something together, I like to get all of the bows tied up, like writing a book. I could get that book exactly the way I wanted it before it went out into the world. And with this situation, it's very spontaneous, and there's a vulnerability in it. I think there are some people who come to it quite naturally. But do you want to learn how to be, and you might be one of these people already, completely available and open and real in the moment? I respect many of our young people right now who just pour it right out. They just tell it as it is, and I think there's something so beautiful about that. So please pardon me while I'm learning how to fail again and again. Okay. So when I look into that camera, now I can see Lori and Jennifer and Whitney and Thomas and Shauna, okay, and Stephanie and all of you. That's so helpful to me. All right, so today what I thought we'd do is pick a posture that we could fail at again and again, and we'll warm up and work with it very slowly before we actually attempt it. And it's, again, this may be a posture that comes quite easily to you, but this is another quality I thought we would bring to the practice this morning: patience. Patience. Notice that Norman Fisher, wonderful Zen practitioner for many years, he talks about how in this culture, patience is considered something very passive in a way, and like something we should put up with, where in fact cultivating a patient heart being able to take anything that arises in our life and dig into the seed of what the opportunity is in it, anything. Yeah, that's the work. So we'll practice a little bit of patience and see what happens when we fail. All right, let's come to the mat and let's lie on our backs. Now it would help, just so you know, it would help to have, well, it's always helpful to have 2 blocks, but if you have 1 block for sure, be sure that it's close. And as we lay back, let's put our whole self on the floor. And we'll do the simple walking meditation where we flex the right foot and widen the sole of the foot and point the left foot and point and curl the left toes, and then we'll switch directions. And we'll move back and forth here very slowly, appreciating our feet. Just noticing in this very limited horizontal gait the subtle distinctions between the movement of the left and right side. We're also curious, can we relax the rest of the body and just use what we need? Watching the breath as well. Good, then let's flex the feet completely and widen your toes. Sometimes it actually helps to widen your fingers when you widen your toes. Separate the toes as wide as you can. You can't see them right now, but feel into it. And then we'll take the arms like cactus, walk the feet in so your knees are bent. Your lumbar spine is now down on the ground, and let the legs travel out. It's a little windshield wiper back and forth for a day that could use a windshield wiper, probably where you are. Back and forth a few times, and as you come in, press outer and inner heels a little bit, as much as you want. A little massage of the side body. Good, then let's come back to center, please, and take your left leg long. Your right foot will go all the way down too, but your right ankle is going to attach to your inner left ankle bone, and then slowly walk with your right heel. Trace a path right up your inner left leg, as high as it'll go, and then back down again. You might coordinate the movement with the breath. And probably the outer right thigh does not fall to the floor when you externally rotate the right leg. And that's totally fine. Let's do one more. Good, and landing the right leg and left heel at right ankle bone. Inhaling, up we come, and then exhaling back down. This is a nice way too to begin maybe a little ujjayi breathing, where there's a subtle contraction at the glottis. And it's a good morning for a little bit of ujjayi because, well, maybe it's not cold where you are, but if it's cooler, it's nice to have a bit of a warming breath. Okay, so let's release the legs for a moment. Then feel lumbar spine connect to the ground. Draw the knees into the chest. Wrap your arms around the legs. Let the thighs get heavy, sink. Feeling into hip flexors as they deepen. Okay, one more lying on the back. Take your arms beside you, palms face down. Send your legs upward. Turn your right leg out, and then see if you can cross the right ankle over the front of the left thigh. And you might bend your left knee and draw the shin toward the chest. Relaxing what we can, yeah? Good, then left leg extends, right leg extends, turn left leg out to the side, cross ankle over front of right thigh, and sinking in. Watching the breath. Good, right leg goes back up, left leg goes back up, then we bend both knees. Cross your ankles, and we'll roll a few times if that works for you. I like to inhale back, exhale forward. And then let's come on to the hands and round your upper back. Push the outside of your feet into the ground. Round your upper back. Draw your navel to your spine. Lift your pelvic floor. And then walk your feet back. Toes are tucked under. Yep, toes are tucked under. Let's just sit back over the heels for a moment. Yep. And then when we do that, let's have the feet so that they're parallel with each other. Waking up the roots of the toes as they begin to lengthen. You may find when you do this that it's brutal. The hands can come to a block or to a floor. Also, sometimes when it's really tough, the rib cage will pop forward. So if we can draw the lower ribs in a little bit, you can see why we would be like this. Yeah. This is a practice patience posture for many of us. Okay, so from here, let's take the hands to the ground. And we'll bring the feet together. Lock back again. Rise up so that you're on the balls of the feet. Set your gaze steady. And maybe the palms come together in prayer position. We just balance on the balls of the feet. Watching the breath. I recommend let the pelvic floor lift a little bit so that you can take some of the weight off the feet. Inhaling, exhale, release hands to floor, walk the hands forward. Let's come to downward facing dog, walking back and forth quite intentionally here. Just open up the back of the legs. Yeah, when you're finished with that, we'll have the feet hip width apart. If your knees are bent, that's great because it can send the pelvis up and back, lengthening from the fingertips to the hips. And settling into our dog. Gleaning whatever space we could find between the vertebrae. Spinning the upper arm bones out and down. Wrapping the shoulder blades around the sides of the torso toward the sternum. Inhale. Exhale, bend your knees, look past your hands, and step or float forward between the hands. Inhale, we lengthen. Exhale, fold, release. Let head and neck hang. Good. Inhale, rising all the way up. Palms touch. perhaps, and exhale, release the arms. Mountain pose. Okay, so in mountain, let's imagine that we've got a string from the pelvic floor lifting infinitely into the sky. We inhale, lift up onto the balls of the feet. And then exhale, slowly lower your heels. We'll do that a couple of times. Inhale, lift up. Exhale, slowly lower. And again, inhale. As high as you can. Exhale, one more time for good measure. Inhale all the way up, as if you're being lifted from above. And then exhale, slowly lower. Look down at your feet, separate your toes wide. Let's care not to lock out any particular joint in the body. Feel fluid, but feel long. The analogy I've been using this week is the stack of gold coins through the vertebrae. Let's draw the palms together at the heart. And join me in the Gayatri mantra if you wish. Om Bhur-bhuva Swaha Tatsaviturvarenyam Bhargo Devasya Dhimahi Diyo Yonat Prachodayat. Good, let's take the arms all the way up. Inhale, reaching. Exhale, folding forward, out, and down. Inhale, we lengthen. Exhale, hands down, step back and pause in your plank. Good, round your upper back, please. Push back through your heels. Lift your head a little bit because it likes to sort of sink here. Yeah, good. Inhale. Exhale, knees down and torso down. Turn your toes back behind you. Press into your feet. Inhale, lift the chest. Pull your mat and exhale, slowly lower. Remember, upper back opens here. Let's do it again. Inhale. Exhale, lower. And one more time. Inhale, lifting up. Exhale, lower. Then scoop your belly into your spine. Toes tuck under, hips over heels. And back to downward facing dog. Settling into our dog. And watching the breath. And making space. And we inhale. Exhale, bend your knees, look past your hands, step or float forward. Inhale, we lengthen. Exhale, let it go. Let the head and neck hang. And then push ground away. Inhale, rising up. And we'll interlace our fingers at the top. So our index fingers turn up. Take your left foot back behind you, the ball presses. Inhale, lengthening. Exhale, extending to your right. And press into the ball of the left foot. Just notice that if we spend a little bit of time here, this posture can grow. As things begin to open, if we can just hang out long enough. And we inhale, rise up. And exhale, switching, come to the other side. You know, sometimes we'll get involved with taking a shape and then holding on to that shape for dear life. Instead, let's listen to the shape. Let's listen to how it wants to open. Then we inhale, rise back up. Exhale, chair pose. Let's have the legs together for this one. Arms extend up. Tailbone gets heavy, like you've got a long kangaroo tail. Set your gaze out in front of you and perhaps come up onto the balls of the feet here. See how high can you stack the heels over the balls. Maybe we come down a little deeper. We watch as we get warmer, and we hang with that. Good, then the heels land, inhale. Then do me a favor, separate your feet a little bit wider than hip width and turn your toes out slightly, and then we'll slowly make our way down into a squat. The squat could have a block under the sit bones, it could come halfway, or it can come all the way. If the heels are floating, you can roll your mat under your heels. Good, then take your right upper arm to your inner right thigh. Just turn a little bit. Turn a little bit to the left, and then we'll take it to the other side. And then back to the right. We just notice right, left sides here. How it's morning. Sometimes hips are wide open in the morning, sometimes not. Just make our way in and then settle into your malasana, lengthening the spine. Feeling the weight of the pelvis. And inhale. Exhale, palms down. Now step or float back and lower through the way that you do. Could be knees and torso down. Then inhale, we open the front. And exhale back over the toes. Good, so remember this business of customization, customizing our practice, making it our own and making it work for us long term, changing out when we need to. We inhale, exhale, bend the knees, look past the hands, step or float forward, then inhale, lengthen again. Exhale, folding. Inhale, push ground away, rise all the way up. Palms can meet at the top. Exhale, release the arms. One mountain pose once again. Watching the breath. Softening any joints that lock out. Softening the face. It's good. The art of softening. We inhale, sweep arms up. Exhale, fold forward, out and down. Inhale, lengthen spine. Exhale, right leg back, knee to the floor. Turn the front of the foot down as well. Inhale, extending up. You could cross the thumbs, reaching up, sinking in, reaching up, opening chest, lengthening armpits, enjoying the breath. Feel how your scapula is helping to support your heart, like you're delivering your heart on a tray. Okay, we inhale, exhale, hands down. Good. Now, when we take the hips back, see if you can cross the left ankle in front of the right thigh. So your left knee lands, and the ball of your left foot's on the ground. And then see if it's possible to rise up onto the knees. Good. I can't see you, so I don't know what happened there. Hopefully it worked. For some of you, it might be easier to take the knee in front so your foot is back because the external rotation seems quite drastic. So once we go up again, let's interlace, turn the palms up, lift the heart, any amount. Root what's touching the floor, root it into the ground, opening. Inhale, Exhale, gradually bring the hands back down to the floor. And from here, we'll just lower down. Inhale, opening. Exhale, back, downward facing dog. We don't usually go that way, do we? 3 breaths. Looking for space along the spine. Strong legs. Inhale. Exhale, bend your knees, look past your hands, step or float forward between the hands. Inhale, we lengthen. Exhale, folding. Inhale, rise all the way up, palms touch. Exhale, folding forward, out and down. Inhale, lengthen. Exhale, taking the leg back now, the other leg. Let's hope it's the left leg. Sinking in here. Letting the hip flexors open a little bit. And when we take the arms up, can you switch your thumb grip? Good. Then follow the path of your spine from your pelvis all the way up. Feel how the back body, we've talked about strong back body, soft front body, back body supports front body. Feeling into that space. And then meeting, you may find a vulnerable space, a contracted space, and see if we can meet that with some tenderness and some warm-heartedness. And then we release the hands to the ground, take your hips back behind you, and then cross your right ankle in front of your left thigh. Good, left toes are tucked under. We'll see if we can come up on this side. And what's that like? Take the arms up. Interlace your fingers, turn the palms up. And you can almost hoist with your arms, hoist the rib cage up. Rooting, strong legs. Lifting the sternum. And there is nothing along the lower back that hurts. If anything hurts, we pull out a little bit until it doesn't. Then we rise back up. We dive forward to the front of our mat. We come down in this weird externally rotated cobra. Inhale. Exhale, take it back. Downward dog, settling in, knees bent a little bit, pelvis lifts. Good, inhale, exhale, bend your knees, look past your hands, step or float forward. Inhale, lengthen. Exhale, release and let your head, your face soften, just let the whole head relax. Then push ground away. Inhale, come all the way up. Exhale, chair pose here, sink. Then come up onto the balls of your feet, steady. Then palms come to the heart and we slowly press the elevator button down. We come down. Use your hands if you need to on the way down. And we find the stack of golden coins. And we relax what we can, but we've got this length and the sense of opening inside the body. Thighs squeeze together. And we remember our good friends, the marionette strings from above. We inhale, exhale, hands down. Step or float back, lower through, or knees and torso down. Inhale, open. Exhale back. Downward dog. Widen your fingers. Press into your index pad, thumb pads. Feel that translate all the way up the arms. Rib cage, pelvis.
Strong legs. Inhale. Exhale, bend the knees again. Step or float forward. Inhale. Lengthening. Exhale, fold. And then inhale, we rise all the way up. Exhale, release. Okay, so let's begin this next series. We've been working on this now for several months, and we've been growing this series. It's like a ticket to failure. If you're new to it, there's a good chance you'll fall out a few times, and that's the point, is when we do fall out, where do we go in here? And then we can practice, let's just come back, right? We don't have to make a big thing out of it, just come back, right? If at first you don't succeed. And I'm saying that for myself because there's a good chance that falling will happen over here. So here's how this goes. It's a balance series. Let's do it in a way that we keep the spine long, so we don't need to use a strap, which means that you will not always have your legs straight. I'll give you the cues. Your knees could very well be bent in order to keep the spine long. Okay, we ready? Here we go. Inhale. Exhale, fold. Inhale, lengthen. Exhale, step or float back lower through the way you do. Then inhale, cobra or upward dog. Exhale, back. Send right leg up and back behind you. Look at your hands and see if you can take the left hand off the ground, balancing here. Now your left kneecap's lifted and you're using your whole right hand, fingertips, to keep you. Gaze is steady. Then the left hand lands. We draw the right foot forward between the hands. We pivot the left heel. And we rise up into warrior one. Some of you might have it be a lunge position on the back foot. If you can, though, let's stamp the sole of the left foot into the ground so the four corners press. And draw your lower ribs in because they love to poke out. Sinking in. Just feel the potential of this posture, the rooting and the growth. We inhale. Exhale, release the arms. Place your belly down on your thigh. From here, we lunge forward, taking the back leg off. You could point your left toes if you wish. The headlights of your hip bones turn directly down. Reach through your arms. Then we rise up. Bring your knee forward, up, 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 and then open out the leg and come into tree pose from here. Sending the arms up. Any sort of tree that you wish. Notice if you're gripping your toes, relax your toes a little bit. Right hand comes to right hip. Grasp left big toe and send the leg forward. Any amount. But remember the golden stack of coins. So your knee may be bent. Inhale. Exhale, the leg moves out to the left as the gaze moves to the right. Opening like a book. Feel the opening along the front side of the body. Drop your left sit bone. Then the leg comes back to center, the knee is bent, and we cross. The right hand grasp the outside of the left foot or the outside of the knee, and we turn the gaze back behind us. Left arm travels. Good opening, lengthening spine. Inhale. Exhale. When you release, place your left ankle over your right thigh and sit down in a figure four. Sitting, sitting, sitting. Some of you will fold forward, hands on a block or on the floor. Keep your left foot flexed. And if you're folding forward, relax head and neck. Good. Now let's untuck left leg. Sweep left leg up and back behind us, any amount. And stack your hips for the sake of the joy that that brings, as opposed to the level hips. And then try level hips. Lift from the inside of the left leg. Okay, then go ahead, stack again, stacking. And bend your right knee, land your left foot way back behind you, bend your left knee and come down. Come down, interlace your fingers forward. So you've got your left hip over your left heel. Now come to the other side. Some of us will have the hands on the ground, because wow, and then back we go. We take this a few times, back and forth. And then once we're over to the right, we look toward the back of our mat, and that's where the hands go. And we send the left leg back. We lower through our vinyasa the way we do, or we meet in downward dog. And then we remember strong legs. Looking for more space between the vertebrae. So healthy for the back. We use the breath to come very present. Just watching the breath and watching the body. And letting bygones be bygones. So whatever happened on that last side, it's just a thought now. Isn't that amazing? We have this whole new experience before us, which is now. We take the left leg up and back. We look forward. Keep the navel to the spine. Maybe the right hand lifts off. That might work, it might not. Use your gaze like an added leg or an added arm. And inhale. Exhale the hand down, the thigh in close. The foot lands lightly between the hands. The right heel spins down. Well, we make our way into our warrior one or high lunge. Find the four corners of your back foot. Press equally. Possible? We inhale. Exhale, release the arms now beside us. Take them all the way back. Place belly on thigh. And lunge forward. Warrior three. Like we're a bird. Engaging in some flight. Then we slowly make our way up. We bring the knee forward. We establish the foot along the left side somewhere. Inner leg, extend arms up. Rooted and yet fluid. Watching the breath, the left hand slowly comes to the hip, while the right hand grasps right big toe, and we send the leg forward such that we can keep the shoulder in alignment. Maybe that the knee is drawn into the chest. Settle the right sit bone, and then begin to open it out, taking the right leg out to the side, looking toward the left. Feel the softness across the front of the body. Gradually bring the right leg back. Bend the knee. Take the hand to the outside of the knee or to the outside of the foot. Push the foot away. Drop the right sit bone. Turn your gaze. Gold coins. Inhale. Exhale. Now ankle crosses over thigh. Sit down. Keep sitting, sitting, sitting down. Some of you will bring your fingertips to the floor, folding forward. Let head and neck hang. Move your breath as if you could. Move it into right sit bone area. Like we're blowing up the right glutes with like a balloon. Good, then we're going to let the right leg escape. Reach it up and back, stacking hips. That may not be satisfying for you. I find it super satisfying in comparison with drawing the right hip down, lifting through the inner leg. Keep the whole thing fluid. It's careful to not lock out. Then stack once again. Stacking hips. Exploring your ceiling with your foot. Inhale. Exhale. Lightly land the back foot like you're swimming. Turn the toes out slightly. Sink at this point. Draw your right sit bone toward your right heel. Good. Then other side. You can have the arms forward or hands on the ground. Back and forth here. Yeah. Okay, so let's pause in the middle. Hands down the floor. Take a look at your feet. They're parallel with each other. Inhale, lengthen. Exhale, fold now. Drawing your hands through your legs or under your shoulders. Inhale, lengthen again. Exhale, releasing top of the head toward the floor. If you bend your knees, then push the ground. Pelvis lifts. Waterfall along the back. Now feel your feet root. You may have noticed that you kind of lilted forward into the front of the feet. Feel the whole foot press. You may stay here if you wish to go on. Place your forearms down on the ground. Will they go on the ground? If they don't, take the hands forward. Now, if they're on the ground, in either case, either hands forward or on the ground, bend your knees, turn your toes out, your heels in, like Devyasana, that goddess pose, and then straighten the legs. And bend. And straighten. And you may notice that your heels transition a little bit. That's fine. And straighten. Couple more. Okay, last one. Bend. Pause there. Feel four corners of your feet press. Yeah. And then slowly inhale, come up. So you're up onto your hands. Exhale, hands now to the front of your mat. Right leg back. Lower through the way that you do. Or meet in downward dog. Wonderful. Let's inhale. Exhale, knees bend. Come to a seat. Good. Draw your knees into your chest. Wrap your arms around your legs. Give yourself a hug. Thighs are in close. Okay, have we survived so far? I think we probably have. Shoulders draw down. So let's play with it this way. We take the left leg long. Right foot comes to the inside of the left thigh. Turn toward left pinky toe. Let's take the arms up. Inhale. Exhale. As you root your sit bones, particularly your right sit bone, fold forward. Grasp ankle, calf, foot, hands, whatever. Inhale. Exhale. Root even more deeply into right sit bone as you fold. keeping left foot flexed. Then as we inhale, rise back up. Let's take this right leg. We've got it in this external pattern. And lift it up. See where it will go on its own without holding it. May not feel terribly satisfying. Root your sit bones down. Then hold on lightly. Draw shin toward chest. Spine returns to vertical if it can. Some of us might be moving the leg. I'm going to turn this way so it's a little easier. Moving the leg side to side just to make some room in the hip. You feel very activated through the right leg, so as you push, right sit bone drops and then back. Okay, now will the right ankle come to the left thigh? And if it does, will it slide so the heel comes up right to the inside of the left, the ASIS, right inside? So that's what we're asking. If the answer is nope, will not, then we're here. And if the answer is nope, will not, we're not, then the foot comes to the inside once again. Okay, so find yours. And then we'll fold forward over the leg here. Good. Remembering that there's nowhere that we're trying to get to except one place. Where's the one place? Right here. Right here. Some reason for humans, even though the future and the thought, even though the future and the past are but a thought, and we know that, conceptually, here can be a challenge. So now we slowly rise up, right leg goes long. Begin again, left foot inside of right thigh. Head toward right pinky toe, arms extend, sit bones root. Inhale, exhale, fold. And we fold into successive moments of now. Including whatever we find. That's the key. Whatever is here is the path. Right sit bone roots as we come back up, and we take the left leg and we float it. And we imagine we've got this invisible jar of whatever's delicious to you. I choose peanut butter, and we're opening it without using the leg, or without using the arms. And then when we've come as far as we think we can, we go ahead, take hold, lengthen spine, and play with a little flossing. Feeling in what's here. The art of listening to ourselves. What needs to happen on this side be quite different than the other side. And then either here or here on top or up. Good. Settle into a place, lengthen your spine. Inhale, exhale, fold toward the outside of the right foot. Go slowly so we don't miss anything. Yeah, what's it like to occupy this experience? Keeping right foot flexed. You know how the long leg loves to just sort of fall asleep. It's part of our nature. Good, keep it flexed. Then we inhale, rise up. Now let's keep the legs this way, but bend the right knee. See if we can lift up into a reverse tabletop. So this is a good back body strong, front body soft posture. Reach through your left femur bone, lengthen, and head can release back if it doesn't bother your neck. Back body strong. And some of us will come down, some of us will switch. Left foot lands and right foot crosses. And then wake up back body again. Lengthening right leg. Yeah, let's inhale. Exhale slowly. Down we come. Okay, take hold of the outside of the feet. Extend the legs out in front. As far as you can hold on. The knees might be bent. We're forward on the sit bones. Extending through the top of the head. Let the shoulders soften downward. Inhale, exhale, down we come. Okay, I've got to check to see how I'm doing for time. Never enough time. So from here, this is where we could use our block. This can be really helpful. This is our posture we've been working toward. Let's come up to standing for this. If you wish, put the block out in front of you. I suggest the middle way. And we bend the knees and we cross left ankle over right thigh. And we slowly come down, and what we could do is rest our knee on the block. Okay, now if this doesn't work, and it doesn't for some of us, then we're going to go this way and rest. But if we can, we'll do the external. We rest on a block. Often we take this Padma mudra, this mudra of the lotus. You could also, for the sake of our weekend, take a heart-shaped mudra. I hope you're doing it. And some of you will go without the block and trying to balance here. Now remember the business of the marionette string at the pelvic floor. So there's this lift. Play with it. Yep, play with it, and if we're fortunate, we're failing, and we're beginning again. Okay, release that leg, come back up, maybe block, maybe not. Right leg crosses over left thigh. We sink. We may be here today because this is as far as we can go. So we go where we can go. We go where we can go. And then the shin rests. Maybe. Feel it out. Take your mudra. If you want to play with look mom or look dad, no hands. Yep, the legs are pretty set. See, it'd be so cool to take that picture for Instagram where I'm in it. How long does that last? Okay, we unwind. And we come down for a moment. Now, out of curiosity, I hope that went well for you, where you are. Out of curiosity, we roll the legs out to the side. We've been working on this one a little bit where we draw the pubic bone toward the coccyx, right? So it's another way of saying arching the back, but it's nicer if it's initiated down there, so there's no one place along the vertebrae where we're taking that arch. Then pubic bone toward coccyx, feel that? Rounding, huh? And back and forth here. Listening to the hips, listening to the back, and making room for whatever our experience is. So remembering this business of no matter what the experience, we're having, there's a seed of wisdom in there, of a potential for growth, no matter what. End of story, back and forth. Such good news. It means all we gotta do is show up and listen and learn and be vulnerable and grow. Okay, so have we done this enough? I think we have. We'll take the right leg now. See if you can externally rotate again. Bring the foot up as high as you can. So we may not get very far with this at all, but it doesn't matter. And then we'll cross left leg. Where does it go? And back and forth. Okay, there are some who at this point might try externally rotate the leg that's long, cross it. Will it cross over? And other way. Yeah, and some of us are just working on getting this foot to come up. Okay, we've done our work. That's what matters. We've done our work. So let's slowly, we should take a boat pose because every day there should be a boat. Hands come behind the thighs. Arms extend. Legs could be long. You choose your boat. We inhale, exhale, gradually now feet land, and we slowly, one vertebrae at a time, make our way to the floor. Releasing down. Now it is a fact that we're going to bridge pose. So it could be a supported bridge pose this morning with the block underneath the tailbone, or it could be lifting hips. Feet are parallel. You know how when I'm in class, I go around and often the legs are really wide and I'll place a block between the thighs. Check yourself. Be sure your legs are not really wide. Then grow the front spine. Upper arms press. Right foot could come to center. Left leg could cross in that figure 4 pattern that we've been working with this morning. You could go back and forth trying to keep the hip points level as the legs move. Back and forth. Those of you wishing to go to wheel, you're in your bridge, hands under the shoulders. Take a look at your arms, they're parallel. That means your elbow points, they point up to the sky, up onto the top of the head, and then up we go. Opening chest, back body strong. Making something out of this, the right foot comes to middle, the left foot crosses over right thigh. And we can go back and here as forth here as well. Just feeling in, getting our legs. Wherever we are, when we're done, we come up onto the balls of the feet and we gradually make our way down. Soles of the feet together, knees go wide. Let the arms rest. Palms face up And let's meet ourselves right here. Just feeling into the moment and into the body. You know, all we want to do ultimately as yoga practitioners is have direct awareness, direct felt awareness, as opposed to living in our heads. How long can we stay with our experience before we drift? Sharon Salzberg would say about 2 breaths maybe, then we begin again. Take the arms now in cactus, draw the legs in. Take your left ankle across your right thigh and fold out to your left, pushing the ball of the right foot into the ground any amount, lengthening right side. Feeling this breath and this moment. Pretty wild that the present moment is what brings us to our heart. And then we slowly come back up, and left foot lands, right ankle crosses, and over we go. Checking out this breath, this moment. Can we bear it? You know, sometimes, especially if there's been trauma, we might end up living in a story for a long, long time, because in some ways, even if that story is really challenging, it's safer in some ways than the vulnerability of not a lot to hold on to in the present moment. We unwind that and we lay ourselves down in Shavasana, lying back. And enjoying being here in the body. I wanted to add this to the mix today. In our meditation intensive that we've had this winter, we've been looking at the word heart. These are all the words related to heart that we've come up with. Wholehearted. And actually, I'm going to write them down in the chat because it looks to me like we've had a failure of transmission. That I don't know if my voice is translating, but my camera is not. All of these words, heartless, heart-struck, heartful, wholehearted. Am I off completely?
Your voice is fine.
Oh, okay, you guys can actually hear me. That's so good. So we've had a failure. So listen, here's the deal. Heart. I'm going to tell you all these words. By heart, wholehearted, half-hearted, heartbroken, heartbroken open, heartful, faint of heart, warm-hearted, cold-hearted, heart-centered, heart-throb, heart-struck, heart-to-heart, tender-hearted, heartfelt, heart-attack, heartbreak, heartbroken, two hearts that beat as one, young at heart, lion's heart, soft-hearted, dear to my heart, from the bottom of my heart, heart's desire, listen to your heart, heart's calling, heart's delight. What a powerful word, heart. Heart-centered, heart related to courage, related to core, and related to wholeness. Oh, okay, you guys can actually hear me. That's so good. So we've had a failure. So as we draw the knees into the chest for the weirdest Shavasana ever, let's remember this. It takes vulnerability to live by heart, because we're going to fall down and it's going to get messy and we're going to make mistakes. And there's going to be failures, just horrible failures. And it's going to be okay, because this is it, man. This is what we got to work with, our humanity. Don't you want to know how to, be in love before the final Shavasana? So let's practice that. And I'm trusting that you're over there practicing that, while I'm over here practicing that. So let's draw the knees into the chest, give ourselves a hug, and roll to one side. As we slowly make our way up to a comfortable seat in the dark, we draw the palms together at our heart. What are we going to do? We're going to bow into our own heart. May our heart be our guide. It's just you and your heart, and it's me and my heart, and this is what we have to work with. So we'll close with one Om. Inhale. Exhale. Inhale. Om. We bring the hands to the forehead, right thought. May we be steady. May we be present. And may we be joyful. The hands come to the mouth, right speech. May our words improve upon the silence. And our hands come to our heart, right action. May we be the change that we wish to see. Namaste. Isn't that beautiful how we ended in the dark like that? Okay, so listen, thanks for hanging with me. And it looks like we had some technical difficulties. That's part of the joy of showing up. And I wish you well. I wish you a beautiful weekend and happy Valentine's Day. And we'll see each other soon, hopefully next week. Okay? Take care.